Good morning and welcome to a brave new world, the stock market.
Unless we know what stock it is. Miss Lockey, I 8, can you show Adam? Air 32, Canada. What's wrong with it?
The Boston Stock Exchange is on the 38th floor of a very tall building, One Boston Place, a location that has been watched closely lately with some trepidation.
I haven't seen anybody flying out of the window yet.
Today at least started with a reason to live. The market opened 24 points above yesterday, to everyone's relief.
This morning's action was better than expected. I mean, first thing. In other words, we ended up yesterday with a, we weren't able to execute every order that came in, and I knew that was true of all the other exchanges. And so.
In just the first half hour, it was up 190 points. The only problem was it was all downhill from there, and the peaks and valleys were extreme and abrupt. It fell 64 points in the next half hour.
I was pleased, as I say, with the action first thing this morning. Right now, I'm getting a little concerned again.
Well, it's scary because I was just hired, and I don't know if I'll, people they wonder if they'll have a job.
And little wonder, just another half hour and another 119 points were gone. What's more, Merck and IBM had stopped selling.
What goes through my head when I hear something like that? Well, it depends. It depends on the kind of market we're in, but, we've really had a roller coaster here this morning.
And the ride is not for the faint-hearted.
Frenetic. That's my one adjective, frenetic. I would say it's completely different than it's ever been before. I mean,
Giles McNamee is no neophyte. For 5 years he's been a floor trader, but yesterday's and today's lessons are a first.
the worst thing is, somebody gives you an order to buy some stock, and the thing's crashing, and you look like a hero. You get them a great print, and 2 minutes later, you look like a jerk because the thing's, 5 points underwater. And what do you do?
Well, most likely you stare at the numbers numbly. It's lunch hour now, but who is an appetite? By 12:30, the market was 26 points below yesterday's low. But wait, 12:45, and it's 30 points up again. 1 p.m., 86 points up. The display board at Fidelity is the best show in town.
Standing here is not going to make it any better. It's only going to make it feel worse.
In fact, the afternoon brought a roll for the better, and the day ended 102 points higher than yesterday. And just think, we can do this all again tomorrow. You look like a man who's worried about the stock market.
Well, I'm kind of worried about the stock market. I wish I was a part of it. But
Marcus Jones spoke to those who are.
The sun rose this morning on another day of trading, in more ways than one. When it was over, these faces of doom had something to smile about, but not before suffering through hours of uncertainty.
What's going through your mind right now?
A little bit of fear. I didn't sleep very well last night.
Investors young and old have been thrown for a loop by the rapidly declining stock market. For the young, these days of doubt are unsettling because they're well versed in the history of the great crash of '29. But it's the older ones who've lived through it.
I remember when I was going to school, my teacher, she had saved money all her life, and her bank closed. And all her savings were gone. That's what happened to a lot of people. The banks just closed down. Everybody was wiped out.
Is this kind of a scary picture, these people in here with the anxious faces?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
People are more aware, and those that control all this know what happened the last time, and hopefully they've learned.
I think there's a lot of panic around, and I'm not worried about it.
Really?
Yeah, the market will come back. It'll take a while.
It's going to be tough on the younger people raising families and needing mortgages and car payments. Yeah, they got to have an income, and if this thing goes farther down, it's going to hurt.
It's like having a credit card, and you go out and buy new cars and new houses and everything, but sooner or later the guy's going to say, you got to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the money?
The people can't get through on the phone because of the market going down so far yesterday that they're all coming in. People are coming in to check their quotes, etc.
What's keeping you the busiest?
Trying to make sure that people are in the right lines, waiting for the right people.
This recent dip is proof that playing the stock market is not for the faint of heart. But if your optimism springs eternal, there's no better game in town.
I think it's great as far as it's a buyer's market.
Really?
For anyone who wants to jump in and make a quick return. Now's the time.
I'm looking to get into a blue chip stock right now. So it's a good time for me because if I can get in at a low price, hopefully it'll keep going up.
For the 10 o'clock news, I'm Marcus Jones.